After months or even a year of at-home learning, a number of children across the country are now heading back to the classroom. But the return to school during the pandemic, it could be a challenge for some kids. So how do we make the process a little easier? Joining us now to break it down, Dr. Jenna Dilossi, a clinical psychologist and co-founder of Center for Hope and Health. Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, this obviously has dragged on much longer than any of us expected. So tell me why this is going to be such a struggle, or could be a struggle, for kids returning to the classroom.
Yeah, I think, we have to remember, as adults, I think we sometimes forget what it's like to have a child or an adolescent's brain and that their brains are not fully developed. And so having a year or even months or as we've now been at a year of not having the degree of socialization and not being in that set routine, if you're only 9 years old or 15 years old, having a whole year of your life disrupted is so much more impactful than adults who's been on the planet for 25 years or 45 years, 35 years. So I think that is the main reason why we're seeing some kids and adolescents struggle with this adjustment back more than adults is they are more resilient. And I think the good news is that once they get back, even a week or two in, they're going to be fine, most of them. But this anticipatory feeling is difficult for them because they thrive so much in routine. And this pandemic working from home situation has become the new routine that they're going to have to adjust to. And then also get back to using their social skills in a way that they haven't as much.
Listen, adults are struggling with that. I mean, we're having the same challenges of trying to get back into society, figure out how you talk to people. Now, are there specific types of anxiety that they're dealing with that we should look for?
Yes. So I would say in my practice, so I don't work with little kids much, but I do see tons and tons of teenagers on a day-to-day basis. And one of the complaints I'm hearing the most is the social anxiety. Naturally, teenagers are socially anxious already. They're very socially self-conscious. In fact, even more than little kids. Little kids kind of don't care as much what people think about them, but teenagers are, and they haven't interacted as much. They haven't had to get up and raise their hand and have people seeing them and be in the hallway and making small talk. And that's the thing that I have heard the most from my teenagers. And as far as little kids go, I think one of the things they're most anxious about is the separation probably from home and the separation from mom and dad or whomever their caregiver has been during the pandemic.
Can you start kind of getting them used to it? Can you expose them to their fear slowly? Will that help ease the anxiety?
Yes, Bill, I love that you use the word exposure.
It's almost like somebody prepared me for this.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Yes, that is the gold standard treatment for pretty much any anxiety disorder is some type of exposure-based method. And really, we although sometimes with our loved ones, it makes them feel more comfortable if we give them reassurance and we cater to them and we help them avoid, it really is not serving them well. So as the loved ones in their life, doing this gradual exposure will be the best thing for them. And I think, again, I'll just do a callback to something I said a minute ago. Kids are incredibly resilient, so even more than adults. So their adjustment back, while they might be more anxious, are probably going to jump back quicker. And it really won't take too much exposure. I'd say for most kids, about a week or two back into the routine, and most of them will be fine.
Do you ease them back into it? Are there ways you can kind of help that process?
You could. I mean, you can start with kind of a gradually going back, which I think a lot of school districts have done, where they go in for 2 days and then they're home for 2 days. So I think from that perspective, a lot of that gradual exposure has already been done. But I think for parents, really just having conversations it's okay that you're anxious, being empathetic, being supportive, but letting them know that this anxiety will pass and, we got to rip the Band-Aid off. Those kinds of supportive yet encouraging, I believe that you can do it, conversations are great to have with kids.
Right. Show them, mom and dad, we're taking off the sweatpants and putting on grown-up clothes too. We're all doing this together.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. You have a great day.